short notice 120-pound women's catchweight bout. Now, this is an interesting one right here, man, because Loopy Godinez has a lot of traction on her, and Emily Ducote came in with a lot of traction from Invicta into the UFC. Now, here's the weird thing. Both of these fighters fought Angela Hill, and both of these fighters lost to Angela Hill, and I believe both of these fighters went and trained with Angela Hill after losing to them in order to kind of, get back on the same page, right? To try to get a little bit better training. Now, this matchup, in a nutshell, you would think, oh yeah, Loopy Godinez probably is going to have all of the tools to be able to dictate where this fight's going to go. But then you have to realize she's kind of the short notice fighter here. So my question off the bat here, AJ, is Loopy Godinez, what is, for the people who don't know, what is the strength of a Loopy Godinez?
Ooh, the wrestling, Derek, and the pressure wrestling too.
So it's in your face, it's on the front foot, it's striking with you, changing levels, all that, right? As we all know, or if you don't know, I'll let you know right now, that is tiring. It is tiring trying to take somebody down, especially if you're unsuccessful on your takedown attempt. It is very tiring. Now, if you want to do that on short notice against somebody like Emily Ducote, who's technical and striking, who can make you pay for failed shot attempts, this could be a spot where Ducote gets the dub. However, I didn't like the last fight for Emily Ducote, man, against Angela Hill. Angela Hill just showed she was much more experienced. She did that expert, you know what I mean, that flawless performance, that showcase bout, right? But you look at the Jessica Penne fight before that, she had a lot of success. Is that a good benchmark, though, AJ? No disrespect to anybody out here. Is that a good benchmark to say she beat Jessica Penne, who was 40 years old, pretty much headed on her way out of the UFC, and she got her big win there? What does that mean to you?
I do think it speaks something, Derek, especially because Jessica Penne isn't just a slouch. Sure, she's older in her age, and obviously no disrespect, but time does take its toll. And is Jessica Penne now the Jessica Penne of the past? Not at all. But I still think the fact that Ducote was able to stand in there and show off her skills, maintain a level of calmness and professionalism, and able to go into that fight and do her thing speaks levels to how she's ready for the game mentally. And even in that Angela Hill fight, yeah, she got pieced up, and sure, I agree, she lost the fight. She had moments when the striking was looking good. Now, Angela Hill outclassed her 8-10, if you will, but there were still moments where she was able to shine and still have good aspects to that. So she brings a lot to the table. Now, can she do it against a very, very scrappy, pressure-oriented grappler that's going to be in your face the whole time? And also, I feel like packs a little bit more punch than people expect. Loopy Godinez hits hard, and then when you're in there stammering back, she's on your hips, getting you down to the ground, controlling the fight. Makes it a lot, but you're right, Derek. The gas tank, that was my question. How is the gas tank of a Loopy Godinez on a short notice fight in a catchweight division with the style she has? Is she going to come out a little more patient, or is it just first round, get a finish? What do you think?
Man, it's tough. You want to conserve the energy banks if you're Loopy Godinez. You don't want to go out there and blow your load in, 2 minutes, right? Especially against Ducote, man. Ducote is good, bro. Ducote is very good. But I will say, you look at Ducote's her knockout of the year contender against Danielle Taylor, former UFC veteran, long time, just like women's regional MMA scene. It was fantastic. Caught her with a clean one, hit her with the head kick after, right? Wasn't the it looks great, man, but let's just say in comparison to this, it's a different level. You look at her other fight after that, Aisha Zapatella, right? Are you familiar with Zapatella?
Not off the top.
So, brother, let me tell you a little something, because Zapatella's good, bro. She's very good. However, there's one problem here. Zapatella. She's 4'11". She's all of 4'11". She's an atom weight, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like you having these big wins entering the UFC against people who probably aren't as big as strong as the people you're going to be fighting. That's what concerns me. Loopy, bro. Some of those scrambles, her and Angela Hill, they were moving each other around, bro. So it's like the strength comes to be maybe a little bit of a concern right here. So that's why I think for Loopy, she's going to want to come and pick her spots aggressively and utilize strength in certain spots. So answering your question, I don't think she'll be full-fledged foot on the gas, but I think if Ducote's not ready for that initial energy burst that Loopy Godinez brings to the table, I mean, bro, she might be able to get the fight exactly where she wants and end this thing quickly. Do you think that's in the realm of possibilities, like a finish like that?
I really like that, actually. That
Yeah.
first one, get her a blitz, get her thinking that's what you're going to do the entire time. A quick little burst of energy, and then sit back, calm
Mm-hmm.
down your reserves, let her start thinking, let the brain start working a little more than it needs to in your opponent, and then fight your fight. I really like that game plan.
Yeah, 100%, man. So at the end of the day, this is going to be an interesting matchup right here. I do think Ducote is a little more of a technical striker, and Godinez is way more down to just sit in the pocket and bang and mix her levels up at the same time. And that's what scares me. But the other thing that scares me here, bro, short notice, Loopy Godinez, 120-pound catch weight, and the odds makers say minus 120 for a decision. Is that one of those spots where you say, I normally you have to follow where there's that minus money at, especially on a prop like that. But is this one of those where you say, I have to fade that because this doesn't make sense? Logically, this doesn't really make sense. What do you think?
Full camp, Loopy Godinez, yeah, decision all day long, especially at the minus 120, like you're saying. But it begs the question, Derek, if you're not going there, you're fading that one. You TKO, submission, what do you think? Because I'm more in line for the TKO. Get her to the ground and pound, beat her up, get the TKO finish. It's the higher of the two odds. Which one are you gambling on?
Yeah, no, you're right. If I had to gamble on one of those, man, I would honestly say submission over the TKO. You know what I mean? And it's not because I think she's some crazy submission artist, but she does have submissions on her record, man. We've seen her go for those before. Now let's talk really quickly, and then we'll move on to the next fight. If you look at the two really big, or I guess three notable losses, right? Let's not forget, Loopy Godinez lost to Jessica Penne. So it's like I can't sit here and just say, "Oh man, you beat Jessica Penne." That doesn't mean anything. She beat Loopy, so clearly means something. Was a split decision loss. Also, you got to take into consideration, man. I guess this is the tough part because I don't want to contradict myself. But Luana Carolina, when Loopy fought Luana, I think that was another short notice, just like kind of took the fight or whatnot. Luana was just too big for Loopy, right? Jessica Penne is a big fighter for the division. The only problem is, what did Ducote do? She didn't go in there and fight the strength. She leg kicked her. She immobilized her leg and then just beat her up. So that's a different approach. So Loopy fighting in Emily Ducote, I just wonder, is there going to be I just don't know. I don't know. Is there going to be this major strength disadvantage when they get in there? How is it going to feel between these two fighters, man? So, with those two losses, Carolina, I guess three, Carolina, Penne, and Hill. What do you read into that? And then we'll move on.
I'm more questioning, is Luby Godinez going to find the places to make the entrance? You're right, because she did suffer with the size and the length of the Luana Carolina, as well as the speed of the Angela Hill. I guess you can kind of say power of the Jessica Penne, more so size as well, strength. But will the speed of Ducote and the technical aspect she has, because you're right, Derek, she does have a very sharp and precise skill set on her feet. Will that be enough to get her in a position where it's advantageous? I don't know. I think the blitz of a Lupe Godinez is yet to be discovered by a lot, and probably soon enough going to be on display.
That's right. And let's just give the pick here, man. I like Loopy here. Pains me. I wouldn't rock with a decision prop here. I would, if anything, minus 135 Loopy. I guess roll with that, man. I don't feel good about it, but I feel like everything is pointing towards Loopy can definitely win this fight. But honestly, if I was like, hey, I only got so much money to throw some bets down on this card, I'd probably stay away from this one personally. But what do you think?
I agree. The odds of this one make it a little stay away-ish, or just at least give a little nod, if you will. But if I'm going, man, if I'm placing money on this, if I have to, TKO, yeah, I'll stick with it because I said it. TKO round two, Lupe Godinez. I like the submission. I was thinking club and sub, rear naked choke also. I can see that as well. Give
Yeah.
me the TKO though.
All right, fair enough. We will see what happens. This is a true mystery on our hands right here. This will be a good one.